My name is Jeff Roberts, and this is Week 2 Waiver Wire. Every year after Week 1, we are left as fantasy managers to calibrate our expectations with the reality that coaches give us. And after Week 1, we are again left to pick up the pieces as many injuries happen. So let's take a look at running back, shall we? My first pickup of the week is Nyheim Hines. You can't train an old Rivers to do new tricks. Approximately 47% of Philip Rivers' completions went to the running back position. 8 of his 36 attempts went to Nyheim Hines, who accounted for 45 yards and a touchdown. He worked a lot in the red zone, which I'm sure over as the season progresses will be taken over by Jonathan Taylor, but until he does, that role might be Hines. My next selection is Malcolm Brown of the LA Rams. It became abundantly clear this Sunday that the role now belongs to Brown. He rushed for 18 times for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. The guy was electric, while collecting 3 of 4 targets and 31 receiving yards. He is a must pick up in all leagues. Raise your hand if you started James Conner this Sunday. Not me, because he was my player to avoid. But if you picked up Benny Snell as his backup, you may be in for a welcoming surprise, because there is a new sheriff in town. Well, I won't go that far, but you couldn't deny Snell's influence over the game, specifically on the ground, rushing for 19 times for 113 yards, and he looked really good doing it. He offers very little in the passing game, but with 5.9 yards per carry, it's nothing to scoff at. So you could do worse by picking up Benny Snell for this week's waiver wire. Let's take a look at the wide receivers for this week's waiver wire. Paris Campbell's of the Indianapolis Colts is rostered in only 29.8% of ESPN leagues. And we know that Philip Rivers is predictable. He loves the slot, and guess what? 96.5% of Paris Campbell's routes came from the slot. As a Charger, Keenan Allen was the main go-to receiver, and all signs point to this repeating for Paris Campbell. My last selection, or at least my last selection for this video, is Sammy Watkins. In 2019, Sammy Watkins blew up week 1 for 9 receptions, 198 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So this may be a fool me twice type of scenario. But if you watch the game, it was pretty evident that the Chiefs were focusing on Sammy Watkins. This year's Week 1's numbers are kind of modest compared to last year, but going for 7 receptions on 9 targets for 82 yards and a diving touchdown that looked incredible proves to us that it's more than a fluke and that the Chiefs really like him. The Chiefs have playmakers, and guess what? Sammy Watkins is one of them. Well, there you have it, folks. 5 must pickups for this week's waiver wire. Tune in next week for a look at 5 more.